the Creepypasta, Episode 3, Story 4, the Holder Series Part 1, Music from the Score to the Thin Ennio Morricone, Extra Synth Noise before to the end.
So basically, I don't know where the Holders series originated, but for some reason I find it fascinating. There's a separate website that houses, from what I understand, is the definitive collection of the Holders series and all the offshoots and everything, and it's the holders.org. But here's the thing, the series list, it goes from 1 to, let's see, 3, 4... 545. Then it skips ahead to 1002 and then 2538. So that's 547 separate Holders series entries. Intermittently through this podcast, I am on a quest to read all of these. For some reason, like, I get on these weird rabbit hole tangent falling down the well like baby Jessica kind of scenarios, and I always forget where I left off, but now I'm gonna have a record of it. We're gonna get through this, you and me and the demons inside both of us. So that's like 72 people are gonna get through this together. You ready? All right, we're starting with number 1. The holder of the end. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house. Oh wait, gosh darn it. We need to pause here for a second, because I didn't tell you what my MO for this is. There's so gosh darned mother trucking, son of a biscuit eating, fargan bastich many of these that, well, how can I schedule this? It has to be very organic. So here's the thing. I'm just going to read these until I pass out. So, in any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house, In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house, and you can get yourself to words on the page. Screen. Sorry, I'm old school. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the Holder of the End. Make sure you never allow him to be behind you, lest he be the holder of your end. Should a look of childlike fear come across the worker's face, you will then be taken to a cell in the building. It will be in a deep hidden section of the building. All you will hear is the sound of someone talking to themselves echo the halls. With bows of crazy fa-ra-ra-ra-ra, It is in a language that you will not understand, but your very soul will feel unspeakable fear. Should the talking stop at any time, stop and quickly say aloud, I'm just passing through, I just wish to talk. If you still hear silence, flee. Leave. Do not stop for anything. Do not go home. Do not stay at an inn. Do not go to the 7-Eleven for a Slurpee and some snow cones or whatever, snow globes or whatever those gross coconut freaking Hostess things are. Ugh. Don't get the Homer Simpson donuts. Just keep moving. I know there's a Taco Bell about a mile up, and there's an In-N-Out it's just off the freeway, but seriously, just keep going, okay? Do not stop for anything. Do not go home. Do not stay at an inn. Just keep moving, and sleep where your body drops. You will know in the morning if you've escaped. If the voice in the hall comes back after you utter those words, continue on. Upon reaching the cell, all you will see is a windowless room with a person in the corner, speaking an unknown language, and cradling something. The person will only respond to one question. What happens when they all come together? Why do we care what happens when they all come together? The person will then stare into your eyes and answer your question in horrifying detail. Many go mad in that very cell. Some disappear soon after the meeting, and a few end their lives. But most do the worst thing, and look upon the object in the person's hands. You will want to as well, but be warned that if you do, you'll see the ugliest penis. You will want to as well, but be warned that if you do, your death will be one of cruelty and unrelenting horror. Exactly, that's exactly where I was going. It tied it up in a nice G-rated version.
Your death will be in that room, by that person's hands.
That object is one of 538. They must never come together.
Never.
Next object, the holder of the beginning. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask the clerk for permission to visit someone who calls herself the holder of the beginning. A small smile will work its way over their mouth, almost as if to say,
"You fool!"
You will then be taken down a long hallway, long enough that you would expect it to lead outside of the building, yet in clear violation of the laws of space and physics. What is it, gang? Starts with an F.
Physics. It instead leads deep into the heart of the institution.
The hall will be forever silent, even if you try to make some noise. Screams will die before leaving your mouth, and footsteps will be muffled. In lieu of speech, your guide will simply point to a door. Beyond it lies a cozy room filled with a pleasant yet unidentifiable perfume. I had it there for a second, but yeah, okay. Beyond it lies a cozy room filled with a pleasant yet unidentifiable perfume. At the room's center, a beautiful woman holds her empty arms as if cradling something. The room will remain just as silent as the hallway that led to it until you ask a singular question. Why were they separated? The woman will then explain in excruciating detail every horrific event in history. No travesty in the history of the universe will escape your ears. When she finishes, all will fall silent, and you will be free to leave. It is up to you to do what you will with this information. That woman is object 2 of 538. The woman? It is up to you if they should be joined or not. No, I gotta drag an old dead lady around, and that's number 2 of 538. It's time to reevaluate our priorities here, but okay, we'll go to number 3 here. This old lady's fucking heavy. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the holder of eternity. A sigh might escape the worker as they look upon you with the utmost pity. They will take you down a flight of stairs that you might expect to lead to the basement. They don't. They ain't leading to the basement yet. As you press deeper, and deeper into the underbelly of the institution, you will begin to hear a chorus of screams. Of course you will. It's too deep. At first it will be barely audible. Stop it! As if originating from a point of or great distance away. But as you approach the end of the hallway, the screams will grow clearer and more thunderous until they drone so loudly as to consume all other noises. The din will quickly become so painful that you will feel the unrelenting urge to claw at your own ears to escape it. Resist this impulse. The worker, stoically enduring the cacophony, will show you a door. As swiftly as they can, they will unlock it and run, leaving you alone in this cramped, dark hallway. This will be your last chance to run. If you decide to continue, open the door. The piercing wail will end abruptly, leaving your ears ringing. The room you will enter will be coated in almost tangible darkness that consumes all but the far wall. That's okay. That's some strange language. Let's read that sentence. Yeah, I'm a bit confused. Dark hallway. This will be your last chance to run. If you decide to continue, open the door. The piercing wail will then end abruptly, leaving your ears ringing. The room you will enter will be coated in an almost tangible darkness that consumes all but the far wall. Manacled to that wall is an emaciated figure covered in raw lashes. Cover girl stared directly at you with a maniacal grin plastered to his face. Clairol, seemingly undisturbed by his festering wounds and the scalpel rammed into his chest. Oh, no, party foul. The only way to save yourself from this man's dark designs is to ask, who created them?
He will cackle in a manner befitting the death throes of an animal.
I don't know what that's what animals sound like when they die, right? Because it's Old Yeller, that's the only reference I have. I don't really watch animals die ever, so. He will cackle in a manner befitting the death throes of an animal before responding. Wow, I might pass out soon, honestly. Goodness, whoa. These things are making me dizzy. That's what they always do. They make me dizzy. Okay. He will cackle in a manner befitting the death throes of an animal before responding. His will be the most horrific tale you have ever heard. Beyond such primitive concepts as pain and death, it will delve deep into the very essence of evil. Those of weak mind would go mad hearing it. And they do go mad hearing it. When he finishes, it will be up to you to release this man from his terrible burden. Remove the scalpel, and he will shudder once in agony before falling silent forever. That scalpel is object 3 of 538. It is up to you if the rest should be protected or destroyed. But really, we haven't even addressed the issue of, like, I'm dragging around a dead lady as number 2. I got 538 things I gotta get. Why one of them gotta be a dead body? Like, for real. That's heavy. Like, for real. Okay. Next, objectification. The holder of nothing. Then why are we even visiting this person?
The holder of nothing.
In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls herself the holder of nothing. Should a look of sheer primal disgust mar the worker's expression, you will then be taken to a separate building, one that appears to be old. Wooden outside. Inside will be a seemingly endless corridor that far exceeds the length of the outhouse. The corridor will be completely silent. Attempting to make any sound at the wrong time is a grievous, lamentable mistake. You will notice the lights in the corridor are getting brighter and brighter as you make your way toward the end. Eventually, you will find yourself blinded by the brilliance. If, at any point, the lights go out, quickly shout out, "No, stop. What you are doing is wrong," while backing away. If the lights do not come back on, bolt for the door you came in through. That's right. Popo can't stop me. It should still be open. Hopefully you aren't far enough down the hallway for it to close on you. If it does close, an eternity in hell would be preferable to what you will suffer. If the lights come back on, continue walking down the corridor. At the end of the hall lies a cell. Oh, the worker will open its door for you while glaring at you in disgust. Inside the cell will be a mad pastiche. He used the word pastiche. Kudos. Yeah, obscure granola bar snack to you. Kudos. Okay, well, let's not butcher the language. Let's go back to it. If the lights come back on, continue walking down the corridor. At the end of the hall lies a cell. The worker will open its door for you while glaring at you in disgust. Inside the cell will be a mad pastiche of colors, arranged in several harlequin-like formations. You must not be distracted by them, for at the center of the room is a naked young woman slathered in blood and bound by strips of human sinew, and you would be better off not knowing what will happen if you take your eyes off of her face for even a moment. Focus on her and ask, what were they when they were one? She will look you in the eye. The eye. Because you only have one. She will look you in the eye and speak the answer in incredible detail. It will be unlike anything you have ever heard, leaving you on the verge of both ecstasy and agony. What's it all about? It's not uncommon for us in the euphoria. But as you mustn't let your focus break, and you must take special care not to look upon her tattooed chest. But that's when they tell you not to do that, that's the first thing you freaking do. Don't think about an elephant on a balloon. See? Your mind will tempt you to gaze upon it, but you must resist, for if you fail, she will flay you alive and add your mutilated flesh to her bindings, and you will remain trapped with her, fully conscious for the rest of time. That tattoo is object 4 of 538. They desire to be one again, but they mustn't. I got a tattoo and some other, but serious, this old lady's starting to stank. She's stanking. She's not too stanky yet. The holder of light. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house, you can get yourself to the most swinging mental institution you could ever belong to. When you reach the front door, close your eyes and ask to visit someone who calls himself the holder of light. You will be led to a single door, leading to a long and winding hallway, and then told to open your eyes. Open the door. The hallway beyond it will be pitch black, but narrow enough for you to feel the walls with outstretched arms, and guide yourself forward. Oh, these are terrible dreams. I've had them before. If at any point during your trek down the hall it is suddenly bathed in light, shut your eyes immediately and quickly make your way back to the door you came in through. If your eyes stay open for more than a second, what you see will force you to instinctively tear them out. Oh God, how do I keep fighting myself in these situations where I'm tearing out my eyes and dragging old ladies around? If, on the other hand, I have one, another, and now there's the other, how many hands do I have in this universe? If no light escapes the next room, then carefully turn the doorknob and enter. The room beyond will be completely dark, aside from a single, dimly lit candle at its center. The faint light it emits will reveal the outline of a cloaked, motionless figure huddled over it. There is only one question that he will respond to. What can protect us from them? Say anything else, and the man will tear out your eyes, and force you to take his place under the cloak for the rest of eternity. I hope he's not gassy. If you ask the proper question, a piercing scream will ring out from the candle, and a series of lights will illuminate the room, revealing images of the most horrifying thoughts, fantasies, and memories experienced by sentient minds throughout history. Stuff like too many puppies dead in a cup with people pooping on them, and vomit artist Lady Gaga. Most people cannot handle the new American Horror Story, turning violently insane or perishing instantly at the sight of such terrible acting and horrors. If you should somehow manage to survive the ordeal, the cloaked man will rise slowly and put his hands to your head, turning your gaze to meet his youthful face. Stare directly into his empty, gaping eye sockets.
For if you look away for that terrible sight, you will be stranded in this room, forever forgotten by...
time itself. Do not turn to look as he opens your right hand, and places a small, round object upon your palm. Oh, he's got no eyes. He doesn't know what he's putting in your palm. What the... Oh! As that object touches your hand, you will find yourself able to ignore even the most fearsome agonies, unless you are in the process of obtaining another object. For the pains you feel then are far beyond any worldly suffering. Know that even this newfound power will never help you cope with the horrifying images you have witnessed in that room. They will be burned into your memory for all eternity. The eye you hold in your hand... Oh, God, oh, it's a fucking eye. Oh, Jesus. God, dead fucking people. Oh, I don't want to be touching dead shit. Okay. Panic attack, go away. Yes. Okay. The eye you hold in your hand is object 5 of 538. The awakening has begun. They must not be brought together.
Thank you violently and unexpectedly for listening to the Creepy Podcast, Episode 3 with Jason Nevermind and Ep3P4. I am with special guest, orator, Vlad The Inhaler. You all come back now, you hear?